like during times when there's a lot of people on public transportation, I really don't like it. Like I just want to like stay in my house.
Hey guys, so today we are here to talk about how not to be jaded and cynical after living in Korea for a while. If you haven't already checked out our other Korea videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on those. Also, definitely make sure to check out our Instagram handles and our social media handles to see our latest happenings and what we've been up to while we've been here. Let's get started. So I think for a lot of people, I mean myself included, honestly, after you live here for a while, that like magic honeymoon phase period kind of fades away. Mm-hmm. And there's like little things that really start to annoy you, and then when little things start to annoy you, like it becomes like bigger issues maybe sometimes over time.
Yeah, I mean that's normal for living anywhere, and especially when there's big cultural differences, sometimes it just like makes it even worse. So I think one of the number one things is to just like try and be positive. Like try to remember why you came here. So like maybe you've been here for a couple of years and the old ladies staring at you and pushing you is really starting to make you mad. Well, why did you come here in the first place? Are you still happy? And just try to remember just what you're doing.
The good old days. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like stuff really pins at you over time, and like we've all been there. But you just need to like take a beat and think about the good things versus the negative.
What I do in those moments when something is really bothering me, I try to think of 3 other things about my life here that I'm like grateful for and that I actually really enjoy, and try to like switch my mind from, okay, maybe this situation right now is making me angry or it's making me really annoyed, but let me think about happier things. Something that like Korea offers that I really enjoy.
If you're hanging out with a lot of people who are in the same mindset, like you're all constantly just like hating your lives here or like berating these like little annoyances, like that doesn't create for like a positive culture, right? So like if you're constantly complaining and then your friend's also constantly complaining and you're both just like putting out these negative vibes out in the world, like just like maybe don't do that.
Yeah, but I think it's also important to be able to have friends who understand like your struggles while you're living here. Mm-hmm. And it is important to vent sometimes, so just don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like if every time you're hanging out with your friends, you're all just like, oh, like I hate teaching here, I hate living here, I hate everything about Korea. Then why are you here? It's just... But also, and this one is to me, recognize when you become like irrationally like frustrated or like aggravated with something. Sometimes I'll catch myself and something is like bothering me. Usually, back to my first example, like people staring at me. Sometimes it just makes me like irrationally want to just be like, what are you looking at? And just
like really bothers me.
Yeah. But then I have to like stop myself and I'm like, wait a minute, why is that bothering me? Like who cares? So just like be self-aware and catch yourself whenever you're being angry about something that doesn't really affect your life, and you shouldn't let it really bother you that much.
So there's like frustrations you get like outside of work, and then there's also frustrations you get within work that are just like really annoying, and they're very like things that are just like they come from cultural differences. Like their system work differently than ours. Like there are some cultural nuances that are different than ours. And in the beginning, it's okay because you're new and you're like doe-eyed and you're so pumped to be here. And then after a while, you're just like, really? Really, guys? You have to remember, like, one, if you're really truly unhappy, you don't have to stay. It's weird for me because we know a lot of people who like complain about living in Korea, like really complain, like all the time complain, but then they still renew their contract or they're still here. It's like, why?
Yeah, like I understand maybe this is a better opportunity than you would have back home with whatever you studied or whatever, depending on where you're from. But there's other places that you could go if you want to do something like teach English or other things. You could go back to school. You could, I don't know,
teach English in China. Like there's so many other options. Like you never feel like you're being held up by this one thing. Like we're here by choice. Like no one forced you to come here, so never feel like you're forced to stay. And also, like, I think if you're at a point where, like, you really are so unhappy, but you're just like, oh, maybe one more year, like, I'll be happier next year. Like, that's not always the case. No. Sometimes it's just, like, people are like, no, like, maybe you're not giving it, like, a real shot. And that might be true. But in most cases, from what we've seen, it's really just people who are, like, too lazy to leave. Like, it's just really easy to renew your contract.
It's just, like, comfortable
but you're not happy.
Yeah.
So then it's, like, why stay if you're not happy?
Yeah.
And also, if you're really unhappy in Korea, it could just be, like, where you are in Korea. So, like, if you want a different change of pace, like, maybe try out a different city. Like, Busan is so different from Seoul, and Jeonju is so different from Busan. Like, everywhere, there's, like, pockets of community that have different pacings and different lifestyles, just like anywhere else in the world. Like, one country does not have one personality. So maybe it's just not the right fit for you. Think about that as well. So there's different neighborhoods to check out. Other things I would say, a lot of people probably, they get really lonely here, and I think that's one of the things. Like, I will say, I think it's honestly generally hard to, like, make friends in Korea, especially if there's a language barrier. And I mean, like, actual friends, like friends you meet up with and, like, have lunch and can, like, be in constant contact with, not just, like, people you can, like, see that an event is happening or something like that. And I think that, like, comes with its own hurdles. And I think one of the best things is to, like, get yourself out there. So get involved, go volunteer somewhere at a rescue organization or at an orphanage. There's lots of events like that. Or find a hobby, like, even start, like, a book club somewhere. I know people do that. Or just, like, keep yourself busy and, like, study Korean. And then, you know, a lot of people are lonely for, like, a little something. So, like, get on Tinder, guys. It's a very popular thing here. Like, no shame at all. Get on Tinder. And I know lots of people who stay in Korea because, like, they found someone that, like, makes their experience then, like, 10 times more enjoyable. But yeah, those are just, like, some tips and tricks that we thought would be helpful, because I think we were kind of getting to a place too where, like, we were starting to just be like, yeah, okay. We've never been at a point where we've been, like, really unhappy or anything, but there's just been, like, points where I'm like, where I found myself, like, really annoyed, like, all the time over, like, really little petty things.
Just, like, things, little things.
And it's not just us, like, all our friends too, like, everyone we talk to, everyone comes to that breaking point. And then it's like, you have to make that decision of, like, okay, do I stay or do I leave? Like, but then you don't want to regret leaving if you're not ready. So,
or regret staying
if you actually want to leave. So what is that time? Like, when is the right time? And I think it's taking those moments and maybe changing some things in your lifestyle routine to really evaluate that. Yes, this was not like a psych video. Like, we're not trying to, like, analyze your psyche, but we just thought
I did study psychology, though.
Yeah, that's true, she did. But we just thought it would be helpful because, like, we've been there and we know what it's like. So we just wanted to share our experiences with all of you. Anyways, that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.